Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. Will here again from Forward Point Solutions. And we had an inquiry, which we do get quite a lot. We have a lot of traders who just trade for themselves privately through institutions such as Interactive Brokers, Charles Schwab, Dorman Trading, and Philip as well. So this is a bit of a trust structure and how a trust and a Nevis holding co can actually own your US operational company, and sometimes you don't even need the US operational company. Sorry, my phone is going nuts right here. And essentially the client was called Ollie. We've renamed the client to Ollie in this sense. So Ollie will not actually communicate with the Cook Islands trustee. This is the trustee. I'm not sure if you know how a trust works. I've gone over this in other videos as well. Okay. So when we speak about this, it's quite simple. Yes, it's complex, but it's quite simple. Again, for more information, you can book a meeting with me down below. It's that simple. Or drop me some questions on email. When we get to 100 videos on this channel, I'll be launching maybe a live webinar system where we can do live Q&As to answer those crucial actual questions, maybe concerns, maybe problems, or maybe just general questions which you actually have in regards to these structures, banking, fintech, licensing. That's what we really do at Forward Point Solutions here. We basically just consult on all of this. And again, as I've kind of said down here, if we start at the bottom here, instead of starting at the top, because essentially we always form the bottom halves first and we move them into the trust, right? So here you've got your brokers been onboarded with the US Ops. It's now owned by the Nevis Holding Co. Your US Ops essentially is owned by is banking by Wise and Mercury. So adding, the actual US LLC simplifies onboarding, but also adds one more entity to actually maintain. So annual state, IRS filing, maybe, form 5472 if foreign owned. Super cheap to generally maintain, This is some notes on the brokers here. So Interactive Brokers happily on board with the US LLC, much more smoother and direct with Nevis, right? As this broker down here is almost essential. They are not really friendly with offshore structures, so we have to present them with a very clean, ongoing actual compliance pack, because at the end of the day, they are acquiring you as a customer, so it needs to be worthwhile for them for spending on compliance XYZ and getting you onboarded here. Essentially, they're your trading operations. And then there's your Wise and Mercury Bank. Very simple, very fast, and very cheap to actually maintain. This is then held by a Nevis Holding Co. Now, I've mentioned a lot on Nevis Holding Co's before. And again, we would then obtain the US LLC, must have essentially an EIN number. Pretty much a nightmare right now since Trump's actually come into play. But it's we need it for the actual bank, right? So I've already got to mention these comments right here. But the Nevis Holding Co. right here is essentially a huge asset protection layer. Again, no foreign court judgments are accepted. So it's a very safe structure for asset protection. That's the main objective within this structure, right? You've probably seen my other videos, we bang on about asset protection. What's more important, tax mitigation or asset protection? I would most likely say actually asset protection, from lawsuits, from divorce cases, all of this put together. So it's quite simple here, It's a very neutral, because this is very neutral, because the US actual LLC is actually regarded as a disregarded entity. So it won't create US taxable presence as long as there's no US trade. There is a little bit of US trade here, so it's an interesting topic to actually go into. And again, to go into these details and how you can actually run this properly, I'm happy to consult with you, even for free, have a nice chat with you. I love speaking with entrepreneurs daily, and that's why I even run this business, right? So this is then owned by the Cook Islands. Again, it's a double layer sandwich of that asset protection. The Cook Islands is the gold standard for asset protection. And how a trust is set up is a trustee, a settler, and a beneficiary. Again, for example, this could be Ollie, his family, another company, another trust, a charity, XYZ, whatever he wants the beneficiaries to be as the settler. As he settles the trust and settles these assets into the trust, he essentially then has a letter of wishes and a trustee that then signifies the actual beneficiaries. Again, if you want me to go into more details on individual aspects of these, then I'm happy to do so. Just please leave a comment down below. And if you haven't got a like, subscribe as well, please go ahead and do that. So Ollie will not actually communicate directly with the Cook Islands trustee in an ongoing basis. Instead, we actually use a New Zealand law firm, but essentially is the middleman channel between them, keeping it all very legal, proper, and compliant, and those lawyers are legally vetted, and they are your point of contact. It's actually a team of 8. You usually just deal with one of them, but there's 8, and they actually essentially, I think, they manage over 400 Cook Islands trusts, you see, indirectly. So this is very important. I'm not sure if you understand why the trusts are so asset protected, particularly in the Cook Islands. This is a huge important layer of having the lawyers as a middleman between you and the actual trustees. So it really separates the level of control, right? So the Cook Islands trustee will act formally, actually, by submitting the instructions coming by the New Zealand law firm. So this actually ensures there's always a clear legal filter. So this arrangement actually protects Ollie's confidentiality and adds an extra compliance layer that provides him with an independent legal counsel at every single step of the journey, especially when this trust is then being managed, if that then makes sense. So the benefit is that Ollie always deals, in this example, with his own New Zealand lawyers who are aligned to his interests, while the Cook Islands trustee maintains independence and their actual independent responsibilities, right? So this separation creates, number one, efficiency in the actual communication networks between the client, in this instance, Ollie, and it also strengthens the asset protection. But many people miss, I had a client the other day who had a US trust where he was the trustee. I was like, well, what is the point in this, So essentially, this is the proper way to actually structure it, to have the middleman as the law firm. So there's you as a beneficiary, the trustee, right, and the settler. And the trustee sits over here in the Cook Islands, and the New Zealand law firm manages your communication with the trustee. So hope that's clear here. And essentially, this is a bit of an example of how you would have your trading activities with your brokerages running through US Ops, held by a Nevis holding co, which is then directly held by the Cook Islands Trust. So, brokers are happy to entertain these conversations, but it has to be presented in a very nice manner, And in terms of costs, it's actually more affordable than you think. A lot more affordable than you think. If you did want more information on these, feel free to drop me an email. My email's down below, as well as the meeting link, and you can check out our website and what we've done to other clients as well. But other than that, guys, I love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next video.